UFC Fight Night Ulberg vs Reyes took place on September 27th at RAC Arena in Perth, Australia. The event brought in $1.8 million at the gate, as well as sponsorships, merchandise sales, and potential site fees that can range from the millions to tens of millions. Not to mention the UFC's broadcasting deal with ESPN, which pulls north of $500 million a year. But how big of a slice did the fighters actually take home? International commissions typically do not disclose fighter pay, so while Venom sponsorship and fight bonuses are released, the purses are based on disclosed earnings from previous events. And if you stick around until the end, I'll reveal how much the channel made from the last video. With that said, let's jump into the first fight.
Every fighter that's under contract, if you want to tell the media what you're paid, that's up to you.
In the featured prelim, Navajo Stirling showed off his clinch work as he fired off shots on his opponent Rodolfo Bellato against the fence. He was the more active striker and turned up the pressure towards the end of the first. Stirling had an even stronger second round, but in stark contrast, it took place in large part on the ground, where he maintained top position as the two traded blows. The third round was closely contested, but after 15 minutes, the unanimous decision victory went to Navajo Stirling. Rodolfo Bellato made a projected $28,000 to show and $4,500 in Venom sponsorship, also known as Fight Week incentive, and an estimated $32,500. And in his third fight with the UFC, Stirling made a projected $16,000 to show, along with $16,000 for the win, as well as $4,000 in sponsorship, for a total of $36,000. Kicking off the main card, lightweight prospect Charlie Campbell sat Tom Nolan down with a powerful left hand early in the opening round. Campbell did his best to avoid being taken down and succeeded for most of the second, but with a minute left, Nolan pulled Campbell down to the canvas and immediately threaded his arm underneath the neck, locking in a rear naked choke and forcing Campbell to tap, handing Tom Nolan the submission win. Campbell, on his third fight with the UFC, made $16,000 to show and $4,000 in sponsorship pay, for a total of $20,000. While Nolan made $31,000 to show and $31,000 for the win, as well as $4,500 in sponsorship and a $50,000 performance of the night bonus, for $116,500 on the night. The second fight saw Jake Matthews take on the veteran Neil Magny. In the waning seconds of the opening round, Matthews locked in a mounted guillotine, and the referee actually stepped in to call the fight. The buzzer sounded as he did so, and Magny immediately protested. It was a confusing moment, but the decision was made to continue, and that was good news for Magny, who, while nearly getting submitted again in the second, was able to secure a Darce choke in the third round, forcing Matthews to tap and giving Neil Magny the submission win. Due to the controversy, UFC exec David Shaw stated at the post-fight press conference that there's a chance Matthews could receive his win bonus as well. It would have been difficult to find a better matchup for Magny than Jake Matthews, who's on his 23rd fight with the UFC, pulling an estimated $165,000 purse. And if we assume he did get his win bonus, another $165,000 for the win. He also earned the maximum non-championship $21,000 in sponsorship pay, for $351,000 on the night. Meanwhile, Magny earned a disclosed $134,000 purse 5 fights ago at UFC 292. However, almost certainly on a new contract, and now on his 36th fight with the UFC, I have him at a projected $155,000 to show, along with $155,000 for the win, and $21,000 in sponsorship pay, for a total of $331,000. In the third fight, a Jack Jenkins head kick stunned Ramon Taveras midway through the first, as Jenkins laid it on for the remainder of the round. In round 2, Taveras landed a solid left hand early, while Jenkins continued chipping away with leg kicks and combinations. In the third, Jenkins pushed the pace, secured a trip to half guard, and controlled the action on the mat. Though Taveras eventually reversed the position, he couldn't capitalize, and Jenkins scrambled up to end the fight swinging, finishing strong in a gritty decision win. In his third fight off the Contender Series, Taveras was already set to earn just $12,000 to show, but after a weight miss and likely 20% forfeiture of his purse, he took home only $9,600, along with $4,000 in Venom sponsorship, for a paltry $13,600 paycheck. While Jenkins likely made around $31,000 to show and $31,000 for the win, as well as $2,400 of Taveras' purse, $6,000 in sponsorship, and a total of $70,400. The two light heavyweights in the co-main event got busy early as Jimmy Crute and Ivan Erslan threw down before Crute's perfectly timed takedown allowed him to control Erslan even as the two got back to their feet. Erslan was never really able to create any separation as Crute maintained his position. Eventually in the scramble, Crute maneuvered to Erslan's back where he cranked on his neck until Erslan tapped. Crute would go on to take the huge victory and his second submission in 2 months. Still searching for his first UFC win, Erslan would have pulled $12,000 to show in his third fight with the promotion, along with $4,000 in Venom sponsorship, taking his total to $16,000. While Crute made closer to $80,000 to show and $80,000 for the win, $11,000 in Venom sponsorship, as well as a $50,000 performance of the night bonus, for a total of $221,000. Only 7% of the people watching this video are subscribers, so if you're enjoying the content and want to keep up with all the latest videos, take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And the main event of the evening lasted less than a round as light heavyweight Carlos Ulberg knocked Dominick Reyes out cold with a vicious right hand. The fight started a bit slow, with both men getting a feel for the other's timing. But midway through, Ulberg fired off a left hand that snapped Reyes' head back. Then with less than a minute left, he landed a combination ending with a right hand that floored Reyes and finished him off with another right on the ground for the devastating first round knockout. Reyes made a disclosed $125,000 3 fights ago at UFC Louisville. Though likely on a new contract, he'd be making closer to a projected $160,000 despite the loss. He'd also get the standard 5-round bonus of $25,000, along with $11,000 in sponsorship, for a grand total of $196,000. While Ulberg likely earned around $82,000 to show and $82,000 for the win, along with his $25,000 5-round bonus, $6,000 in sponsorship pay, and a $50,000 performance of the night bonus, totaling $245,000 on the night. And last but not least, my video on Noche UFC got just under 8,000 views as of this recording, translating to $32.28. Corrections to the numbers I've shown will be listed in a pinned comment below. That's all for this episode. As always, thanks for watching. See you next week for UFC 320, Ankalaev vs Pereira 2.